Hello, folks, and welcome to Fey Earth. My name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the creator of this indie TTRPG set in an alternate 1970 Earth, where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. Our game is set in the year 1872. We are in Paris, and we are coming up to the 1 year anniversary of the final day of a war between the Allied forces of France and Prussia fighting the Fey nation of Arcadia. One of the party members, Sylvia, who is a veteran of that war, her brother Heinrich, a major in the Prussian army, has just arrived in Paris and they have been catching up. And they'd had dinner and so forth. So yes, we will say we finish off with the dinner, and I guess everybody heads home. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So the next day, what are?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Cool. There was the whole thing, but okay. Yeah.
What whole thing? What whole thing?
Well, Heinrich had been grilling Mina.
Yeah. When
okay.
and we said when he came back, he gave you a look.
Okay.
But
yeah.
He's not going to have that conversation with you now at the dinner table.
Yeah.
No, he will be having that conversation in private with his little sister the following day.
Okay.
So, the next day, obviously, Heinrich has arranged to meet you, Sylvia, for breakfast.
Before can
yes.
Before can I want to send a message.
Mm-hmm. So when you get back home to your room that night.
Yeah, if that's okay, or I can do it the next day.
No, it makes no difference.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take out that feather that I got. And I am gonna light it, and I am going to gonna light it and be cool. I'm gonna be cool, totally cool, relaxed.
So you standing at the window to your room, you take a candle and you take the raven's feather you were given by Morraine, and you light it on fire, and it quickly, obviously, ignites, and it burns down. Nothing appears to happen.
Okay.
But you're waiting, and you're waiting. And after about 5 or 6 minutes, you see a movement barely made out in the night's city lamps as a somewhat familiar-looking raven suddenly swoops down, alighting on the sill by your window, looking up at you. Good evening.
Hello. I wanted to ask you if you could just tell the ladies that my brother is here, and we are going to be in Paris. Well, he is going to be here until the 11th. After that, I suppose we will be leaving for the palace. So if you could, tell her that I hope she is well, and I hope to see her again soon. If we are still alive after everything, it would be nice to see her again. I suppose that is all.
That's it. That's why you summoned me to Paris. That's it.
Well, I haven't spoken with her, and I'm at this point. She's kind of looking back at Justine, like, is she listening? Well, just that I would very much like to see her again, and the anniversary of the forest soon, so perhaps it would be lovely to see her again, and just because it has been a while since we have had any contact. That is all.
Fine, I'll send the message. And he kind of hops left to right, turns, leaps off the sill, arms outstretched, and disappears into the night sky.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you guys settle down to get ready for bed and all the rest of that jazz?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys settle down, you're getting ready for bed, and I'd say it's about like maybe 35, 40 minutes. Like obviously you didn't fall asleep. If anything, you're having difficulty falling asleep because of the day that you've had, seeing your brother, who you haven't seen since before the war ended. A lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. You're pretty sure he knows about Morraine, and you're pretty sure it's Mina's fault. So there's a lot
You're
of
welcome.
Well, like ultimately, she was going to tell him eventually.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
You know what? It's easier. Like in a way, she's kind of thinking, well, thank fuck Mina said it, because I would have had to, and I just, oh god, that conversation would have been horrendous. So
it gets over and done with.
So anyway.
And Sylvia would be very much like, rip the band-aid off. Okay, that's fine. He knows. That's okay.
So, but nonetheless, because of this, you're having difficulty falling asleep.
Sure.
And your brain is slowly beginning to calm down when you hear a movement and you see Anklegon jump up towards the window. And you hear a tapping on the window.
Okay, Sylvia's gonna get up and open the window, I guess.
You open the window.
The fairy globe.
Yep, you open the window and the raven is there. I have a message from my lady for you.
I thought you said Anklegon was there.
Anklegon had leapt up to the window from inside the room.
From the inside. Now I get it, because he noticed the raven. Now I get it.
Exactly. So
do you teleport? Is that how this works?
Yeah, I'm a fey raven. It's just I can fly fast, especially at night.
Okay.
Anyway, I have a message from the lady. If you're ready.
Yeah.
And then he starts to speak, but this time it's in her voice.
Okay.
in her voice.
She sent you a voice note.
If in her voice you hear, "It is so wonderful to hear from you, Sylvia. I'm surprised it is so soon, but pleasantly so. I am aware that it is the anniversary of that painful day, but I hope that you are surrounded by those who care for you and will give you the support you need at this time. I would very much like to see you again soon. However, I realize that you are exceptionally busy and about to take on an extremely dangerous and daring act. Please be aware that that presence I have felt coming from the east has grown much stronger. I believe it will be here very soon. Hopefully, when you have come out triumphantly from the abandoned palace of my kin, we can reconnect. I very much look forward to hearing from you soon." And then the raven kind of, it's always so weird when I do that. Okay, so anyway, and he reaches around with his beak and holding out one of his wings, bites down and plucks out a feather and hops up to you with the feather.
Oh, thank you. Right,
you know how this works. If you need me again, just light the thing, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Of course. All right, well, good night.
Safe home.
And he just turns and he's gone.
Okay. All right.
You'll be bold when you finished with it.
I know. I feel bad.
Justine, I have a very serious question for you. How likely do you feel it is that Justine heard any of that?
She probably did.
Yeah.
All right.
She probably did,
so
it's a tiny little room.
I do feel also that if Anklecon suddenly jumped across the room, that would wake Justine up.
Oh yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
Because I'd say like by this point they bonded so much.
Exactly.
She would know.
Right.
Okay, super. So
I'm going to go back to bed now. And she's just like, shut the fuck up.
You crawling back into bed with Justine. You go to sleep, and you have a somewhat restless night. You do sleep, but it's not a very peaceful sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next morning you get up, okay, and you're arranging to meet Heinrich for breakfast at his hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if the rest of the party, please tell me what you would like to do. But we're going to, first of all, have Sylvia having breakfast with Heinrich. Okay.
At some point early in the morning, I'm going to pull out my messenger pen and quickly scribble to Sylvia just, so sorry about last night, talk later, ? Anne.
I have no way of replying. But...
No, but she sends it.
Okay.
So, what time would you say you send that message, Annelise?
Now, I don't know what time she's having breakfast with.
Oh, you don't?
Let's gamble and say 8:30?
Okay, right. So, Sylvia, at 8 o'clock, you meet Heinrich at the hotel for breakfast. Okay?
No.
I had said 7. He would have said you meet him.
I know.
We see fucking army people, man.
I signed it, Anne. It's okay.
You did. So, at 8 o'clock, you meet Heinrich for breakfast. Okay, he sat there. He's like, I just got here. Coffee?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
The coffee here is good. So you sit down to coffee, and it's fairly simple. Continental breakfast. There's breads. There's ham. He says, "Oh, what I'd give for a sausage and a beer right now, but they don't have them here."
Beer in the morning, really?
Of course. Have you forgotten your Berlin blood?
Apparently so.
I've left all that behind me, I think.
Oh, please. Traitor to the Prussian Empire. And they can't do good sausage here in France. Oh, so.
But they have other things,
I know, but I want some good sausage meat. Anyway, so
Sylvia's like phrasing.
Yes, I know, but any Germans watching this stream right now would 100% agree with everything I'm saying, though. Okay, 100% agree. No good sausages.
Having been in Berlin, yes.
Okay, no good sausages, and they only have a very limited selection of bread. So yeah. So anyway, you sit down, you have your breakfast, the coffee has arrived, and you're having it, and he turns to you and he says, "So, Svesta, seriously, an elf?"
As I said to you, we had dinner to discuss an artifact. That is what has happened. Originally, we met the lady. We were in a town. There was a wood near the town.
Mm-hmm.
They were having trouble with Fae, and there was an elf who lived in the forest who we met. We all had dinner with her. Okay, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
When she was very gracious and kind. Unfortunately, her sister was very unhinged.
Yes, stop talking around the fact that you were the one who was invited back to dinner. I don't care about her sisters or any of this. I want to know about my sister and the elf.
I am trying to explain to you.
I don't need a life story. Let's get straight to the point.
Okay. I am trying to explain how we all met.
I don't care. You're the only one who was invited back for dinner. Your friends were not invited back for dinner, only you.
Okay, so I will explain why, if you wish. to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we were dealing with the vampire, myself and Annelise visited her to ask for advice. Okay?
Oh no, he's rolling a history check.
And because Justine had gone to the Sorbonne and also the church, because we were trying to find information on vampires. I visited.
Yeah. Come on, get to it.
So I visited her. Well, we both did. And after she gave us an artifact, she created a magical item, like it was nothing. Anyway, it helped us. And because she had helped us and also had helped us deal with her sister, I decided the best thing to do was to visit her again with a gift to say thank you. But then also we had discovered the Baron had this magical ring, which we didn't know anything about. So I asked her if she would study it. And she agreed. And then she invited me to dinner to discuss what she had learned. That is what happened.
She needed to invite you to dinner to tell you what the artifact could do. She could not have done this over coffee. You expect me to believe that the dinner was so she could explain to you what the artifact did. Was this an incredibly complex artifact that required many hours of explanation? Well,
I am telling you what happened. I wasn't expecting her.
Yeah.
No, I was not expecting any of this.
Well, in fairness, your wife, Elizabeth, was one of the most beautiful women I ever met. So it makes sense that your next romantic interest would have to be godlike as well. My little sister has very fine tastes.
Look, I was not expecting her to be so kind and nice, and I don't know what I'm doing, Heinrich. This just happened, and I don't know. The whole thing seems completely insane. If I told you, I wanted to tell you, but there's no easy way to explain. And
Well, I mean, normally as your older brother, I would go to this person and say, if you hurt my sister, I will kill you. But she's an elf.
Yeah. I saw her create a magical grenade out of sunlight.
Oh, wonderful. She can create grenades.
And control trees and teleport me hundreds of kilometers, so.
Of course. Yeah. That's truly, she's truly magical, yeah?
Look, I know. I don't know what to do.
To be honest, all I care about is that you're happy and that you're safe. So try not to overthink things the way you always have. You're the worst. I mean, let's be honest. It practically took Elizabeth smacking you in the face for you to realize that she liked you.
Fine. I thought I was just so happy that she wanted to be friends. And
yeah, friends, like your new friend who invites you for a friendly dinner, yeah?
She invited all of us to dinner.
I've never had friends who are beautiful elven ladies who invite me to dinner.
Well, maybe you're just not running in the right circles, Heinrich.
Well, we have a day until the cursed parade. What shall we do?
There is a lot to see around Paris.
Okay.
So I do.
So just as you're saying that, a silvery font appears in front of your eyes as a message reading out, "Sorry for missing yesterday." Was that what it said?
Or so sorry for last night.
Sorry for last night. Talk later?
Talk later? Anne.
I should.
Anne? Oh, is this your friend Annelise, the farm girl?
It may be. If she's ill, I would like to see her. So maybe we could meet after. There is a lot to see.
I would like to meet this other member of your party, so I could know all of your friends. Yeah,
absolutely. I want to just see her first, though. I think. You know, I don't know what's going on, so I want to make sure that she's okay.
how about we finish breakfast and then we'll jump on a cab and go to their room, and you could go up and check and make sure that they're okay. And if they're not too poorly, then I could come up as well and I could finally meet them. Yeah. If they are not well, like, you just come down and tell me, I will go and see the sights of this city of love.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds. You wait, and and I will see them first.
Yeah.
They could be, you know. So.
Wunderbar. Okay. So you you guys finish up.
I am happy about the subject change. This is great.
So you guys finish breakfast and you head in a cab to Annelise's residence.
Yes.
Annelise is staying in a fairly simple guest house. It's not too far from where you live, actually. There's no landlord who stays there with her. It's just her own room. There's like 2 rooms, and they're on the ground floor. And there's another sorrowful artist losing himself to the green fairy who lives on the top floor. It's Montmartre.
Well, better that than fucking opium, so you know.
Yeah, it's Montmartre. If it's not absinthe, it's going to be opium or laudanum. Let's be honest, okay?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not opium. Like, if it's a bit of absinthe, that's grand.
So anyway, so you get to the front door. So the front door opens, but then like the door to her room is locked, and it's like the immediate left on the hall. You get me?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna knock.
Yeah.
Annelise is in her usual day clothes, sort of heavy coat and such, and she, she's not going to assume that Heinrich is there, so she just fully opens the door. Goes, Sylvia, good morning. I suppose I should have mentioned the time.
No, yeah, I was having breakfast with Heinrich. He is downstairs.
He's downstairs?
Yeah, so I told him that I was going to make sure that you were okay. We were having breakfast, and I can easily tell him that you are unwell.
As you say, he's downstairs. You see her eyes trail behind the door. Then she looks behind herself at the window and shakes her head lightly. Okay.
But we can talk.
Yeah, that would be good. Just to start, I'm so sorry about last night. I don't know if Mina and Aminata told you anything.
They said that you had food poisoning.
I imagine you recognize that might not be the case.
I assume with your lineage that your constitution would, prevent such things. And
yeah,
When I mentioned that I was a healer and could easily deal with it if they told me, they became quite alarmed and flustered.
Right. Yeah, they probably should have thought of that. I'm sorry for the duplicitousness. It was.
Look, I know that something is going on, but I saw. The immediate assumption would be, it is Heinrich Bauer. I know my brother is an attractive-looking man, so maybe, a little crush on the nature, but I don't think that's what's happening.
No, perhaps when I was younger, not so much. We shouldn't talk in the hallway, please. I don't have much, but come in.
Oh, okay.
And she sort of her room is Spartan. Her rifle's by the door. She's got one chair, a bed. She's got a little steaming coffee pot that she clearly picked up earlier in the morning. Cafe?
Okay. And Sylvia is going to take out her hip flask from her bag, unless you need something stronger.
Let us see how it goes. Perhaps. And she kind of busies herself pouring both of.
Yeah,
both
Sylvia is just going to sit down in bed, not saying anything. She's just waiting for Annelise to start talking.
She passes the coffee. Did you have a good breakfast?
Yeah, it was fine, you know. Heinrich complained about the lack of proper sausages and bread.
Oh, yeah, it is a problem in this. You know, you can get excellent food in Paris, but the cured meats, they're just not quite.
It's not what they do here, you know. There
Yeah.
are plenty of other things.
Yeah, something I miss from home, I suppose. Okay. I owe you an explanation. Okay. 9. I do not have a crush on your brother.
I know that, Annelise. I know.
Well, you know. Okay. I was a member of the. I led the 29th Battalion. It might not ring too much of a bell for you. I was a major. Some sort of 120-ish people. As you well know, Auftrag static allows us to kind of establish our own rules of operation within the commanding structure, and I had taught my battalion to focus on the flow of movement. It was quick, targeted, pinpoint strikes. Mostly we supported other battalions if they were being harassed, and moved quickly, traveled light. I don't know if I'm telling you all this.
You can say as much as you need to. Heinrich can wait.
I appreciate your patience. My family did not have my father did not have a male heir, and it fell upon me as the eldest to be raised as my family has a sort of long military history, and it would be something of a grey mark if we didn't continue that. So it fell upon me to train, and I was eventually, paid to have, rather, it was paid for me to have a major's position. Unlike your brother, I sort of.
There's no shame in it, okay? You are not the only one who was paid.
No, I know. It's. And I take some pride in that, many other commissioned majors, there was perhaps a different ideology. I took a lot of pride
if you were terrible at the job, you would either be dead or fired.
Yeah. I looked after my people as I could. Sylvia, I have to apologize to you. I may have somewhat unintentionally, or perhaps intentionally, as part of my time here. I only planned to be in Paris for a few months. I was going to get what money I could from Madame Gautier and leave and continue traveling. I don't know where. It's sort of walking. I did not see the end of the war as you did. I did not see close to it. It was early, and my battalion was in a skirmish. I don't know. I don't know if I overestimated or underestimated. We were in a skirmish, and it started lasting too long. And because we traveled light, ammo started to run dry. I was on a hill, and I would often overlook the battlefield, command my captains and such to, support battalions in need, and they were sort of got in place. the mages and Fae on the other side, on the Arcadian side, very quickly, as I'm sure you might have noticed in some other battles, noticed a weak link and collapsed upon it.
It happened to us.
Yeah, I know my battalion wasn't the only one, but mine might have been one of the few that didn't have a major up to the task of commanding them. I lost myself to my scope. It is a problem. When I was being trained as a child, the reason I prefer my rifle is when I am in close quarters, I panic. I lose myself. I don't know why. It is like.
I think it is, the certainty of approaching death.
Yeah, that might do it. But even when training with mentors who I knew weren't going to severely injure me, it would be like a black veil put across my eyes. I would blink, and then it would be minutes sometimes.
You are not the first person to freeze. I have frozen before.
Yeah.
Had my rifle blow up in my hands while a giant was charging at me. That was fun.
Misfires and jams are not easy to deal with, but I was watching through my scope as the Fae cut down my battalion. I say one by one, but it was dozen by dozen. I would put down one, and in that same instant, a spell of some sort would wipe out a whole other part. I could hear their voices calling for. Well, I say I could hear. I for a moment I could hear the voices calling for instruction or aid from. I had a sort of messenger item,
Goblin bead or something like that.
Yeah, in that vein, one of the more sophisticated ones for longer range communication with my captains, and those pleas for instruction quickly became begging, and I stopped being able to hear them after a certain point. Just the heartbeat.
Sorry,
thank you. I wish I could say that was it. Before long, I started to run dry, and as I pulled away from my scope to reload, I noticed that, as far as I could see, they were all dead or dying. And as I pulled back into my scope, I saw one of the enemy their eyes seemed to meet mine through the scope, as though they knew exactly where I was. And the panic set in, and I could no longer see. And then, I don't know how long later, but I blinked and I was in the middle of the woods, my uniform tattooed. I was cut and bleeding and dirtied, and I couldn't hear the sound of battle anymore, and I didn't know if I had got far enough away, or if we had been.
Did you lose time?
I would assume. I don't know to this day. It could have been moments. It could have been hours. I just I couldn't hear the combat anymore, and that could mean it was hours later, or it could mean I had just got far enough away. I don't know. And in that moment, I had a choice. I could see the path I had come through, the underbrush broken, and I couldn't bear to go back. I would have had to see my commanders and tell them that I failed the men. I would have had to see the comrades in arms and the families and loved ones of the people I failed, and I turned around and I kept walking. I did not return. So I have to apologize to you as someone who is.
It sounds like you lost time. You weren't in control of.
That is not something I should take as excuse. I can't let myself take that as excuse. It is unfair to the people that fought so hard.
You should know technically speaking, I also deserted. I don't remember quite, but I don't know. Maybe so when I was found, I was brought to a hospital and I snuck out of the hospital. So, but I think my injuries were severe enough that I probably would have been sent home. But you know what? I never told you. I have a friend, Marcus. I believe he is alive. He came here from America.
Wow.
So in America, there is a very strong anti-Fae sentiment. There were wars about it, and they fought. Marcus had a wife who was true Fae, and they left America because they wanted to, have a life together without all of this. And he became a soldier because that is all he knew. So you can imagine the war breaks out. He is once again fighting against Fae. And on the final day, well, the night before, he had said he didn't sign up for this bullshit. So the next day he was gone. And all of us, we lied. We said, oh, he is getting something. I'm sure he will be here soon. And that was on the final day of the war. So do you know what separates Marcus from all of the friends that I lost that day?
Nein, what?
He's alive. I told you that I was happy to meet anyone who got out alive.
Yeah.
And by whatever means, I was not some great hero. I was some scared florist's daughter from Berlin who was terrified all of the time, couldn't shoot in a straight line. And I'm only alive because my friends, my wife, were strong and they literally carried me through. I was a dead weight. And I am the one who is alive after all that. So I don't know if you were expecting me to slap you or hate you, but I told you that I was always happy to meet someone else who made it out alive. There are so few of us.
Fewer still because of people like me. I'm sorry. That's.
Do you think that alone with your rifle you could have killed all of those Fae?
Nine. I some months ago maybe, but
seeing the things that we have, fighting the Baron, do you think alone your rifle could have saved all of those people?
A 9, but it is instruction. If had I not lost myself to the battle and paid attention to what was happening, I could have told them to retreat minutes before they were collapsed upon. I could have seen it coming. There was a moment where I'm sure I could have noticed Fae forces moving inwards. I do not want. I cannot blame the panic and losing time, as you say, because I had moments there where I could have made choices and changed things. And even now, I could have made the choice to return and give those fighters, I know your feelings about the nature of the war, and I share them. It was senseless and unnecessary.
But the people are still dead.
Yeah, exactly. And they deserved someone, the survivor, their leader, to go back to their families and offer, I don't know, closure or apologies or something.
Oh, come on. They would have gotten some platitude. Oh, they did their best. They died for the greater good. Nobody Okay.
There you go.
But they're still dead.
No, I know, and I am learning to take sort of the life I still have not for granted and actually try and live as a person rather than just a
Annelise,
ghoul holding.
I am very glad that you are here. You saved our lives. You made it out of that war alive, and you have continued on. And because you are alive, it means that we are all alive.
I can't take responsibility for that, but it means a lot.
Maybe not solely, but Mina also, Aminata, Justine, myself, all of us. But you are the one who was there at the back, firing shots. And, the decisions that you made mean that all of us are here.
Sylvia, I don't understand how you can... I didn't even know that there were dragons until you spoke about it. I don't know how you can... I understand that, you had a similar experience in a way, but I don't understand how you can't hate me for not seeing the worst of it through.
Seeing the future, not magically being able to murder all the Fae.
I don't know.
I am not even angry with the dragons. I am angry with the leaders who decided they wanted more power. The war was because of them. It's not because of you. It's not because of me. I had always considered myself to be a useless coward. And, the war isn't my fault. Yeah, I lost my nerve on the battlefield. Yeah, my hesitation meant people get killed. But ultimately, it wasn't my fault they was there in the first place. And also being angry with a dragon feels like being angry with a flood for watching
it's house. Sort of the scale is sort of inoperable.
Yeah.
She kind of takes a long sip of her coffee. You are further along the path than I am.
I don't think so. And I know a thing or two about losing time. It's the first time we faced Montclerc.
Yeah, I remember it being
He unleashed a firestorm, and his arcane soldiers went on fire, and everything was on fire. And in that moment, I completely lost myself. In fact, I don't remember anything until waking up in a dirty bed with Mina and her brother. I lost all of that time. I know they got me out, and I was useless. So why? And they don't hate me for that. I probably would have run. I think I was so lost that there was just nothing. At least you were able to do something. You were able to run. You were able to escape. You were able to live.
It's funny. We had a connection in our histories, even with Eli, but it seems we have more in common than I would have assumed. I mean, I cannot say that I won't continue to carry the weight. I feel there are still things that I must do. But
I don't know if you ever stop carrying that weight.
But I can remember the names of each and every member of my battalion.
That's more than most majors.
That means a lot.
It is.
Yeah, you are correct. I knew some very blasé majors.
Ruvitz, the Scar, if you're lucky, they might remember,
Yeah, you make a fine point. I suppose I should take some pride in that. To that point, obviously my own feelings about it aside, I am a deserter. I
technically so am I.
Yeah. I am a little bit more deliberately so.
Yeah, I probably would have been sent home, so my parents would not have taken me back.
I know how that feels. That is the thing. I as a major, you remember the army. Corporal punishment was not uncommon. I know the character of the man that Major Heinrich is, and I can hope that he would be discreet. But I also know him to be an exemplary soldier. I don't know. I don't know if he would have an obligation to report it. And there's no way to test that. We can't just, you can't just go to him and say, hypothetically.
We don't have to. I can tell him whatever you want me to tell him.
One of the reasons I feel so guilty is that I feel I have not taken responsibility, I suppose. And I know you might say I do not need to, but perhaps it would be nice to, it has been nice to know you and to connect with someone who understands what it was like.
And Heinrich understands also. He was there.
Yeah, we spoke quite a few times. He was one of the few who would actually, talk to me much. The other majors were, it was a bit of a boys' club.
Of course.
Perhaps it would be nice.
Okay.
Perhaps, we are leaving Paris soon. If they want to send the military after me, then they will have to walk away, and I might be killed by a dragon before then. So
exactly.
How's it going, by the way? Have you heard anything?
Oh yeah, so Morraine has said that Sylvia goes kind of red. I contacted Morraine. She said that
Morraine. Well, now I feel as though let us move past my horrible sadness. Tell me more.
Well, she said that the dragon's presence, she feels it more strongly.
That is not as exciting as I hoped it would be, really. That is less juice. Honestly disappointing. Yeah. I can hope for more.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Heinrich knows about her and he's not impressed.
Oh, you told him?
No, I did not tell him. I think Mina
Was it Mina? Yeah. Okay. I've only known them.
I went to relieve myself, and when I came back, he knew.
Oh yeah, I have seen the major deal with his men sometimes, and there would often be he has a way of getting the information out. It's impressive.
Also, I don't think Mina was very reluctant.
Oh, 9. Yeah, no, 9. I don't imagine.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we can talk to him, and I will be with you.
Thank you. I don't know what I expected, but it is better than I could have hoped for.
Well, I could hit you if you like, but
maybe a little bit. Just 9. Okay.
Sylvia is gonna like slap her on the back and be like,
okay, you're stronger than I took you for, or maybe I'm weaker than I thought.
My wife was the fighter. I'm not. Let's
then.
just go.
Okay,
please.
let us, how they say, face the music.
Okay,
Face the music.
So you have your, I can't remember if you said you're wearing your coat or not, but you grab your stuff.
Sylvia's gonna pass her hip flask to Annelise, like,
she
is fucking there.
She like weighs it. How much of this do you want to keep?
I can buy more.
Opens it, tips.
Okay, right, super.
God damn it, Aminata did that too.
So anyway, you do that, you get your stuff, and you go, leaving. And as you open the door, standing directly in front of you is Major Heinrich Bauer, looking straight at you as he says, a dark, dark expression on his face.
Annelise, like Sylvia, you see Annelise's hand like reach for yours, just like trembling.
I thought I recognized that voice, Major Nicole.
Major Bauer, how long have you been standing there?
And I think that's a perfect place to pause in our story.
God damn it, Neil!
Outstanding. Incredible.
We'll be back in 5 minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Very good, very good.
Hello, folks, and welcome back. My name is Neil. My pronouns are still he, him, and this is still the TTRPG that I invented, set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. When last we left our heroes, the party's sniper and former major in the Prussian army, Annelise, was having a rather touching heart to heart with another Prussian veteran, Sylvia, telling about their somewhat shameful past when they ran from the battle, deserting and abandoning the troops that they were in command of. But Sylvia is showing a great deal of compassion and understanding. Having decided that she was going to now go and confront a fellow officer, Major Heinrich Bauer, Sylvia's older brother, that she knew when they were in the army, they opened the door of Annelise's room to see him standing there, a rather dark and somewhat angry look on his face. So let us return.
Major Bauer, how long have you been standing there?
Long enough.
And she sort of, like, she's straight. Sylvia, it's obvious to you, she doesn't know what to do with herself. Like, this was not, she was expecting like a couple minutes to prepare and like get in mind. She's completely thrown off.
When I heard the name Annelise and somebody skilled with a gun, I am not going to lie. Part of me thought, could it be her? But no, she's dead. She died on the field. Her body was not recovered, but she died on the field along with her battalion. And it was some farmer's girl who was good with a gun, had learned to hunt from her father, I think was what Aminata said. And then I find you standing here beside my sister, not dead on the field or in an ogre's stomach.
Well, you thought the same of me, so...
I know, Major Bauer. I know it would have been better had I been in the ground like the rest of them. I have thought as much many months. I have no excuses. I cannot offer you any.
Did you feel the dragon's breath on your body like my sister did?
Sylvia at this point is going to shoot him a look with like, dude, fuck off.
He's ignoring you. Completely ignoring you. He's like, as far as he's concerned, no, you don't get to tell him what to do here.
You can see like Annelise is trying to stand straighter, but like each of his words just like sinks her lower, and she goes, 9, Major. I abandoned my post some days before.
And now you fight alongside my sister.
Yeah, I strive to protect her and her friends as I did not my own people.
And she has saved our lives. You should know that.
Only as much as you have saved mine in return.
You should know this, Major Nicole. I will not say anything because you are aiding my sister. But if you abandon her like you did the men and women under your command, you will not need to worry about the Prussian military police dragging you back to Berlin in shame. I will find you, and I will carry out the sentence for desertion. And he then turns and walks out the door.
Oh, fuck.
So
she looks over at Sylvia like
is
just
that more of what you were hoping for?
Yeah, she looks at Sylvia just like tears starting to break from her eyes.
Oh Jesus.
I would probably let him.
Oh. Sylvia's just kind of gonna pat your shoulder.
She like reaches a hand up and just pats your hand for a second. Well, I suppose he could have shot me dead on the spot, so, all things accounted for. I don't know. I was hoping to ask him about, I don't know, my family but I should be lucky. Sylvia, you should probably go with him. I will find something to do. I get the feeling I'm lucky enough to have got off the way I have.
All right. Well,
Thank you. I'm sorry if this puts you in an awkward position. I'm sure you wanted an easier time with your brother here.
Oh, I didn't think that you were going to hug or anything. So
I would be so lucky.
I am also glad that he didn't kill you.
Yeah, looking on the
I'm not
lines,
sure that I would have been able to stop him.
My
brother may actually be more stubborn than I am.
Sylvia, and I say this with no sense of melodrama, I would have let him. So, let us be glad.
I'm going to go and find him.
Yeah. Thank you. And
okay.
I need to buy an arcanogram for God's sake.
Okay, well, I'm not going more than 50 kilometers, so you can reach me if you need to.
Yeah, I will do so. If you need me,
I am going to go.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Sylvia is going to run after Heinrich.
You run outside. He's standing outside. He's waiting for you. And
great. Okay.
As you come down the steps, he goes, so, my little Lily, you wanted to show me the sights of this beautiful city.
Fucker.
I did. Yeah.
Shall we?
Okay. Yeah.
And he is continuing on as if nothing has happened.
Yeah.
That's my bro. He's a dick.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, like his beeps with you, so he's not like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Concerned. He is compartmentalizing to fuck because that's what he does.
Yeah,
that's what men do with their feelings.
True. This is true.
Oh
boy,
man.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I need to buy some more whiskey.
Well, you get to spend the day having a lovely day with your brother, and it is actually.
So I'm gonna buy him a goblin spark because he was whinging about not being able to light a pipe.
So, do you go to Madame Gautier's shop?
Yeah, actually, because I'm gonna buy him an arcanogram as well, so I don't have to fucking write
you go to Madame Gautier's shop, and you're in there, and there's a one of the young women who, as an assistant, you've been told her name before, but you can't remember it. And she's working, she's helping you. She's like, yeah, so we have, here you go. And as she's talking to you, Josephine Gautier walks in from the back. And she's like, Sylvia, oh, it's so wonderful to see you. Please, are you here for to talk to me? Or you're purchasing. Juliette, we will take no coin from this person. Give her whatever she needs. Because she sees, okay, you got an arcanogram and a goblin spark. This is not expensive. She's like, give her whatever she needs. We will take no coin. Her money is no good here.
Oh, thank you, Madame Gautier. That's very gracious of you.
Please. I think at this stage, we have fought and nearly died together. You can call me Josephine.
Well, this is my brother, Major Heinrich Bauer.
Hello, sir. Major, yeah? And she's giving him a very hungry up and down.
Seriously?
Oh, yes. Yes, a very hungry.
We love her. We love her for this.
Heinrich is a good-looking guy. Remember?
But still,
Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender. Okay. Yeah. So absolutely, it's like, well, I have become a good friend of your sister here. She is a wonderfully powerful and skilled druid, did you know? And he says, yes, my little lily, she has quite blossomed into the beautiful flower.
Please stop calling me that in front of people. My God.
And he's being a big
He's going to give him a punch in the arm.
No.
Like,
he chuckles and she says, siblings. I unfortunately was an only child myself. But yeah, it's so lovely to see you. And by the way, she is speaking in German, and it's perfect German. Okay.
So, Madame or Josephine is the artificer we have been looking for.
And Heinrich says, I assumed as much. Such a clearly powerful and beautiful woman had to be the artificer you described. And she says, oh, you are such a charmer. And I thought that the Prussians were cold and stoic, she says, as she laughs and puts a hand on his upper arm.
Okay, I trust my brother to see through this. It's
showing him the sights of Paris.
You look at your brother, he can see what's happening, but he's enjoying it. This is a stunningly beautiful woman who's clearly flirting with him in front of his little sister, who is really uncomfortable about this. He's enjoying every moment of this.
Say anything, okay? He's found out that I'm in a situationship with a fucking elf, so I'm saying nothing. He's
enjoying every moment of this scene right now, okay? Especially how uncomfortable you are about it. I think we've gotten everything we need. A goblin spark so that I can light my pipe, and an arcanogram so my sister and I can correspond. Honestly, it's such a trying matter because you see, she'll send an arcanogram, but it goes to the barracks office, and then they transcribe it, and then they have to send it to me, and then I have to transcribe my reply, and I send it to, it's a nightmare. But now we'll have our own. We can correspond directly.
Yeah, well, now I can tell you, I might die in this, so... I hope this isn't goodbye. And then I message you again. Oh, I didn't die,
Yes, like that time with the vampire. At which Annelise just says, yes, that was quite a terrible fight, but we managed to we all managed to be victorious there. some pretty seriously injured, but your sister is also an incredibly gifted healer. And he turns and says, well, she always had the gift to bring life to those things around her. First it was plants, now it's people. And he has this kind of really soft, kind of like, I love you, little sister kind of look on his face as he's saying it.
Stop. Sylvia's going to give a punch in the arm again.
And Josephine chuckles at this.
Stop making me look soft in front of the artificer. Jesus.
Cool and powerful.
Yeah, she says,
I am powerful and awesome and strong. You're making me
Major,
no.
And
I'm not making me look bad.
How long will you be staying in Paris, Major? She says, only a few days. And then I must return back to Berlin. Says, well, maybe we can all meet and spend some time together. She says, well, if the fates allow it, that would be wonderful. And he kind of turns to you with a, come on, we should get out of here and see some more sights.
Yep, let's go.
So as you walk out, he says, well, she seems to be absolutely lovely. And no wonder you've become such close allies with her. And quite a striking woman as well.
Yeah, Gwyn was, shall we say, entangled with her for a time.
Well.
And then, well, Gwyn is still missing, but she has... Madame Gauthier is not upset. She has moved on and is now entangled with some other beautiful blonde.
Well, it is well for some.
So she looked like she had her sights set on you as well. So
honestly,
I thought you're not her type at all, I thought.
I imagine that she is the kind of woman that does not limit herself with her selections.
I'm seeing that now.
Yes. She is a bisexual hardcore top.
Okay. Listen, valid.
Yes.
Valid.
So, what do you reckon this party does? I suppose, Justine, you're probably spending, I would guess, are you spending a chunk of the day looking through all these books of shadows that you have?
Absolutely. Excuse me for my language.
No, of course, yes.
I'm probably in exactly like the same spot where Sylvia left me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you do have these 2 books of shadows from 2 very different sorcerers. Well, one was a necromancer, so
yeah,
but still very different. And it was clear the Baron was of an even higher level of power than the necromancer was from the number of spells in his book of shadows. So yeah, you've got quite a difficult choice to make in a way, of what spells you think you might transcribe into your book of shadows. But yeah, so you're really having you're loving this, of course. You're absolutely loving it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would we say the party does? Like, do you have another dinner? Or will we, I'm happy if we want to time skip to the next day.
I would quickly sprint by Madame Gautier's to buy 2 arcanograms.
Yeah, you did say that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
do the same. I probably run into you.
Mina, what a good, lovely to see you.
Oh, hey, how are you? Are you feeling better?
No, it's been a rough morning. No, it's been ups and downs.
Okay.
She quickly, entirely unprompted, just gives you a quick hug.
Mina just squeezes you back.
It's good to see you. Thank you. I spoke to Sylvia. I'll fill you in a little later. I have some things I need to do. Thank you. Later. And she quickly buys 2 arcanograms, sprints to the post office, and puts one of them in a sort of a small package.
Yeah, Mina goes to the post office too. Oh, again!
Mina, okay.
Okay.
We should
minds think alike, isn't it?
Lunch after this. Your coffee somewhere. We may as well. It seems like wherever I go, you're going to end up anyway.
We might as well because we keep running into each other.
It seems like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Quickly get one of the arcanograms packaged and a small letter's put inside, which, and then I'll get the clerk to write out the address of the Nicole Manor and address it to Talita. So it's not in Annelise's hand.
Yeah.
And then gets that sent off.
Cool. So Mina
She writes everything herself and sends it off to her brother.
What was it that you picked up from Madame Gautier?
Me?
Yeah.
2 arcanagrams.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Super.
Great.
Do you want to
really think alike?
Yeah, we can.
know,
let me
right?
share my. We share details.
Oh yeah. Let me share your
Yeah,
number on my magical
What's the-
mobile
how
phone.
does
Yeah,
this-
it's amazing.
what
Like,
is
oh
it?
wow, look at all these features, right?
How do I?
Google. Oh, what is that? No.
I think it's a philosopher. That rings a
That's
bell.
amazing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I heard about him. Like,
Strange.
yeah.
I need to. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I love. So
Yeah.
let's go for coffee, sure. Like, why not?
Yeah, shall we? And we go for coffee.
Does Annelise tell Mina anything about her encounter with Heinrich?
Yeah, I'll because I'm
fill
under
me
the
in?
assumption that at some point we will be invited, like while he's in town, Sylvia might have us have another dinner with him, which Annelise will now go to.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be awkward, but she'll go. Yeah, she'll fill Mina in on like better than expected, not great. But,
yeah, Mina will say that too. Better than expected. You're still alive, so I mean.
And Sylvia is.
That's a positive. Oh, I knew Sylvia is gonna be understand. I mean,
I know,
honestly,
incredibly gracious.
anything that you're alive. Like, she doesn't care.
Yeah. Well,
She's
it's
just like me, glad that you're alive.
I'm paying for your coffee.
So I'm going to say that Heinrich, Sylvia wants to just have dinner with you tonight, just the two of you, to catch up a bit more. So you guys have a lovely meal together, catching up.
I might ask, is Otto dead?
No.
Shit.
No, he's not. He did build up some debt, gambling.
Of course he did.
Gambling with the wrong people.
Of course he did.
He did get he got some bruises and a broken nose.
That's your youngest brother, right?
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there might have been a cracked rib as well.
Just one?
Yes. Father
deserve 2 at least.
Honestly, father does not know what to do with him. Mother still mothers him like the baby.
Yeah, but anytime he did anything, like she would always say, "Oh, but my poor special baby." And we both know that if you had done a half what he had done, father would have given you such a beating.
Yeah, he knows he cannot send him to the army because, let's be honest, he would not last 3 weeks before he was drummed out. If he was a daughter, he would just send him to a nunnery.
If Ulrich was still alive, he would have hung him upside down outside the latrines. We both know that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, he's my brother and I love him, but sometimes I just want you do. You just want to punch him. You can love somebody and want to punch them at the same time, sister. Okay?
No, I spent more time with him than you did. I was the one who was stuck keeping him out of trouble. And then I thought, what's a girl going to do when he wants to go into a bar and start a fight? Did father honestly expect me to go in?
Honestly, Sylvia, I know you're his big sister, but you shouldn't have been keeping him out of trouble. That's part of the problem. Too many people keeping him out of trouble when he was young.
It was not by choice, you know that.
It was. Look, if he had been allowed to get into trouble, maybe he would have gotten the beating to put some sense into him.
I got it. I got it when he got in trouble. Not him. It was me.
Well, that's also not his fault. That's mother's fault.
Yeah, well, he's still an asshole.
Oh, I agree. He's an idiot. He's a complete idiot. Honestly, if I could throw him on a boat in the North Sea, I would.
You know you're a major. You probably could.
Maybe next time I'm home, I'll talk to father about having him enlisted in the Navy instead of the Army. he couldn't
go overboard, for fuck's sake.
He couldn't escape a boat.
That would mean I wouldn't have to deal with him anymore. I'd be happy. Happy.
Okay, well, anyway. Yeah. So you guys, you have a lovely chat, okay? And it's like, it is great to see your brother, you know.
We're both like not mentioning, like Sylvia doesn't want to know anything about her parents. She's not mentioning, like,
no,
you know, she's not asking how they are. She just doesn't want to know.
No, he rings.
She was in fact pretty surprised to know that their mother was writing to him at all. She was, because she thought that they were completely non-contact. So, but she's just not mentioning them because she just doesn't fucking want to know.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously talks about your sister Adeline as well.
Yeah, and I want to know about her.
Yeah, and she's doing, and he fills you in on her how she's doing, you know, with the kids, and you just have a lovely evening. It's a really nice evening catching up, and you agree that you're going to meet for breakfast in the morning this time at 8:30. And then head.
This is the morning of the anniversary, though, isn't it?
The parade is to start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Fuck that! I don't want to go.
Well, he. I mean, you said, he says, "Look, I want to go in remembrance of those who are not with us. I have no interest in what the politicians will say in their speeches, but."
About the brave men and women who sacrificed their lives. You know, most of them were people like me who've turned out and had nowhere else to go.
But Sylvia, I will be going not for those fools and pompous brigands, but for the men and the women who fought alongside us and who cannot march today or tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think it would be good for you if you would go as well. We can leave once the speeches start.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. And so bring your friends as well, including Major Nicole, and we can...
You know, technically, I'm a deserter. I snuck out of hospital.
No, you weren't. You left the military hospital after the war was over. You were grievously injured in the war. You were no longer an active soldier. Your injuries meant that you would have never been expected to serve again, and the war was over at that point. You did not desert. Your official record actually had said you died of your injuries because it was assumed that you had died because your injuries were so grievous. If you want, I could update it to say that you had survived.
No, that's fine. I don't want mother and father looking for me.
Well, but no.
I know if father knew about what I could do now, he would try and drag me back.
Honestly,
so he could make money.
I think if Arthur knew what you could do now, he would be terrified of you because you are so much stronger than him. And
I could turn into a bear and rip his head off.
You would not need to turn into a bear to rip his head off. You and I both know our father was a bully. And bullies are cowards.
I'd still rip his head off.
Yeah, and I would enjoy watching him. So, anyway, you have an enjoyable evening. You have some drinks. Eventually, he sees you to a car, bring you back home to Montmartre. You get home. Justine is still sitting exactly in the spot where you left her this morning, looking over the books.
Did you even eat?
You're not actually sure if she ate today.
Someone get this girl some food.
Okay, Sylvia is gonna take out some of her snacks. She's gonna cast. I called it Goodberry before. That was a mistake. The spell is called Nature's Boon.
Yes.
Because I was mixing it up with the dragon game, and I apologize for that. Sylvia is going to take out some of her snacks. She is going to cast Nature's Boon. This means that this will nourish Justine as though it was a full meal for the day. So she's getting all of her nutrients for the day because she probably hasn't fucking eaten For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Because I know what students are like. I was one. She's gonna like slam it down in front of you and go, eat.
Yeah, I think Justine, as soon as you see the food, you suddenly realize, oh my god, I haven't eaten all day. I'm actually ravenous.
I used to be like, oh hi, have you already had breakfast with your brother?
I've had dinner. I'm going to bed. Eat
Since
your
when
damn
Taco said,
food.
like,
Have you you haven't eaten today, have you?
What time is it?
So yeah.
Justine, why is it that if I am not with you, you don't eat?
So Justine, you pick up some, it's basically some different nuts and stuff that you eat. Anki has come over, he's sniffed, and he's picked up a couple of the nuts and he's eating them himself and he's loving them. But
okay, I can't be mad at the baby.
No, but once you eat them, you're like, okay, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, Justine is going to like slam her books closed and be like, yeah, it happens sometimes, but enough about me. She'll be like, oh, tell me about your day. How did it go?
Well, I spoke to Annelise, and Annelise spoke to Heinrich, and they are both still alive. So
that's a progress.
Good.
I'm delighted to hear that.
So the band-aid, as they say, has been removed. Heinrich has persuaded me to go to that stupid parade tomorrow.
Would you like me to go with you?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to study, I understand, but he wants to go, and I feel like I should, and I don't want to go. Justine, it's pomp for the officers, and they don't care. Well, Heinrich obviously cares, but they don't care about what happened to us. I just don't. I don't want to go.
I haven't been I didn't have the same experience as you did, but I've spoken
to your
my
brother did.
Yeah, and I've spoken to Jan a lot, so I can relate and I can sympathize. I would have said, you're your own person, you don't have to go. But also, in fairness, if it was my brother, I would have done anything to him. I would have gone anywhere and did anything. So, if you'd like me to go, I'd be happy with you.
I would like for you to go. If okay. And I don't want to be there for the speeches, but yeah.
No. We'll go as soon as we can.
Okay. So, I mean, Neil, I'm assuming it's pretty late, isn't it? Oh,
What time is it?
Now it's like, it's late o'clock. It's like maybe 11.
It's late o'clock.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go to bed.
Yeah. So yeah. So everybody, you go to bed. Next morning, you get up. Sylvia, you meet Heinrich for breakfast. And you've arranged with Justine and the rest of the party. You'll meet at Notre Dame de Paris and then walk around to. And basically, the parade route is down the Champs-Élysées to the L'Arc de Triomphe. Okay, that's the parade route. Okay, so you guys get a good spot, kind of near-ish to L'Arc de Triomphe. Okay, and So Annelise,
I imagine Mina would have spoken to Annelise and said as well, "Come on, we need to go." And she'll be waiting in front of the others, or she'll be at the other guys' accommodation in full dress uniform herself.
Absolutely, of course. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And people who see you when you're walking are giving you a respectful nod because they see you're in a soldier's uniform and it's the anniversary of the battle. So they don't realize, oh wait, this is a Swiss Guard uniform. They see soldier's uniform, so they assume, oh, you're a veteran. So you're getting a lot of respectful nods. Okay, Heinrich is in his officer's uniform with saber.
Sylvia's uniform got destroyed. So
no, I know you don't. But Heinrich is in his major's uniform with his officer saber on the hip, waiting. You all make your way.
Yeah, Mina's like her mayor.
Yeah. And
Sylvia is taking out her hunter marking, and she's basically like holding it in like a death grip.
Yeah,
just
of course.
as a comfort thing.
So yeah, you make your way to the procession route, okay? And
Sylvia absolutely does not want to fucking be there. She's
I get
like
that.
staring at the ground and being like, "Oh my god."
Heinrich at one point does take your hand and gently squeeze it. And eventually at about 10:30, the procession starts. There is fanfare, there's a military band, and you see a slow procession of soldiers marching and walking along. Can everybody give me awareness rolls, please?
Like when we're walking, Mina's gonna link arm with Annelise.
Yeah, cool.
She'll take the arm and just squeeze kind of gently against her side. For reference, she's not wearing her uniform, mainly because it got fucked up, but she's got a heavy coat that's like turned up, so just in case there's any other veterans, they don't have a better chance of recognizing her.
Yeah.
Ooh, 18 minus 1, 17.
Okay.
14.
My eye is still fucked.
Yeah.
Just awareness?
And keen eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, and keen eyes, dirty 20 then.
Okay. And Justine?
Mighty 11.
Okay, right. So I'm going to say this is a very low target number. Anybody who got higher than a 14, okay, notices that as the procession is happening, okay, so you see the soldiers walking along, okay, and you see a number of them have like amputees, missing arms, a couple with missing legs, but then you notice after the first 100 or so soldiers that all of a sudden it's a marked shift in that they're now incredibly young. Many of them looking only 17, 18 years of age.
Oh God, new recruits.
And Heinrich sees this and he's like, you hear him kind of like almost like a growl of distaste as he looks on. He says, well, it would seem that there were not enough veterans for their procession, or perhaps that was all that was left of the French army, and they had to pad the numbers with boys. And so the procession goes on for about 20, 30 minutes, and people are
Sylvia looks like she's gonna get sick.
Yeah,
Annelise's jaw is like really tight.
Yeah, people are cheering. There's lots of people waving the French flags, and there's lots of people, lots of fanfare. There's a couple of people throwing some flowers, and then eventually, as what's happening is the soldiers, to get them to the Arc de Triomphe, they kind of branch off into blocks in front of a stand has been erected underneath the monument. Okay, and you see various different men, of course, all very well dressed, standing around. Okay. And after about 45 minutes or so, the procession has all made its way to the front. Okay. And hold on, excuse me, apologies. And at the top, you see one man coming forward. Okay. He's hold on. Apologies, folks. He looks to be he's old enough, okay? He's got short gray hair and a pair of oval shaped glasses, okay? Below average height, and he looks to be in his like late 70s. A few people turn, you hear listeners like, "Oh, President, yeah," and a few and I'm like, "Sorry," and like, "That's that is President Adolphe Thiers. He's the president of France." As he's coming up, to this podium, and he holding in his hand is this stone, which he starts to speak into. Okay, this is a speaker stone. These are a simple type of stone that magically projects the voice. As he starts, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming with us today to commemorate this important occasion.
Ooh.
I remember how terrible it was for so many of us at the end of the
No,
war.
he doesn't.
But it is important that we remember the brave souls who fought for. And as he's saying that, a great shadow suddenly appears across the sky as there are screams of terror, as looking up, an enormous shape appears coming out of the clouds.
Oh my god.
No.
Dark
No.
brown scales with a glint of bronze
No.
metallic
Oh.
sheen. 30 meters long with 100-meter wingspan, as this gigantic dragon swoops down, landing on L'Arc de Triomphe, its gigantic claws digging into the stone, breaking it and partially crushing it. As there is panicked terror, people are scattering, the soldiers are running, everybody is scattering as he lets out a mighty roar. Pitiful humans, I am Uhtred the Terror. You now live in a new age. We have returned. The dragons have awoken. We slumbered for centuries while you killed our young. But we are back. And we will have our revenge. And he lets out this gout of flame into the sky. And there's just blind panic. People are knocking each other over. People are being trampled. A few constables have appeared and they're firing their rifles at him. The bullets appearing to have no effect.
I mean, worth a shot, guys.
As he hunches down, wings coming out, and launches into the air, the masonry from the monument having crumbled, breaking off, landing, crashing on the stage, as the politicians up there are leaping out of the way, trying to avoid being crushed, as he flies off into the sky, gone.
Bye. Yeah, Mina has a shit-eating grin on her face, kind of going like, yeah, you fucking deserve that. Pity you didn't eat them.
Sylvia has just grabbed hold of Heinrich and her nails are digging in. Like she doesn't even realize she's doing it, but like, yeah.
Annelise is like elsewhere at this point.
Actually,
Well,
yeah.
I have my arm around you. I won't let you go anywhere.
Is Sylvia still with us, or have I?
Give me. I was going to ask. Give me a resolve roll, please. Willpower. Willpower or courage, your choice.
I have both, so
well, you can only use one.
Literally pity didn't eat those fuckers.
Wait, is that a 13 or an 8? I never have fucking. Hang on, what's the 18 look like? Oh no, that's a 13. Plus, so that's an 18. No, sorry, 19.
You are frozen in terror for a moment, brought back to the last time you saw a dragon, the day your wife died. Give me an intellect roll.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Not bad.
That's a 19. That's a 19.
And as you come back to,
It's the same
still locked in that moment of those red glowing eyes, that glowing red mouth, dark brown scales with a bronze metallic glint, and a scar running down one side of its face. The same scar on the face of the dragon that you just saw perched on Lark the Triumph.
Oh my god.
You realize the dragon you just saw is the dragon that killed your wife.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Okay, so Sylvia is like, she has clamped on to Heinrich's arm. Her nails are digging in and she is trembling, like, and she's sweating and she just completely frozen in place.
I think after our previous morning's conversation, Annelise has the wherewithal to like just put a hand on Sylvia as well. So she's also a shaking mess.
What you notice as you look down is vines and plants have started to sprout up out of the ground around Sylvia's feet, and it's like they're wrapping around her legs in a supporting fashion, trying to lend her strength as she is shaking, like almost vibrating on the spot. And glancing down, Annelise, you spot the blood dripping from Heinrich's hand where her nails have dug in so much that he's bleeding. But he's just holding her hand as well, looking down at her with intense concern.
I'm just going to lightly twist my ring and in her hedge go, Sylvia, it is gone. You are safe. We have you. It's okay. And she just like, knowing Sylvia's not quite contact friendly, just squeezes her shoulder as well.
Yeah.
And just in part grounding herself and just trying to pull Sylvia back a little bit.
Okay, so on that, like, that is kind of what shakes Sylvia out. So the plants immediately go back into the ground, but because they've gone back into the ground, she then sways for a second and steadies herself. Oh my, Heinrich, I am so sorry. Your hand.
It's fine.
That was the dragon I saw on that day. It was that dragon. That was the dragon.
The same one. The same one that killed Elizabeth and the rest of the battalion.
That was the dragon. It was that color. It had that scar. It had those eyes. Heinrich, let me heal your hand.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just a scratch. Please, I've had.
Nature Bauer, let her heal you. She needs it.
I'll just my healing word, whatever it is.
It's like literally like 1 point of damage, you know.
Yeah, no, I know, but she feels really bad that she made him. Okay. Morraine said that the presence was stronger. Heinrich, I'm sorry for not telling you. I didn't think that you would. Well, I wanted to wait until I had gotten through this day, but Morraine told me that she had sensed presence coming, and she told me last night that she had felt it more strongly, much more strongly.
Wait, you're saying that you knew that there was a dragon coming?
I did, but the plan, we need to be more powerful so that we can face it. So
what do you mean we need to be more powerful so that we can face it? It's for the army to
what army?
The French army.
Like
Major Heinrich,
they did on the 9th. thousands and thousands and thousands of soldiers dying in an instant. What do you think a bunch of soldiers are going to do against a dragon? Or, many dragons who want revenge. And Sylvia at this point is getting just a little bit unhinged, a little bit manic.
Annelise just squeezes your shoulder a little bit more.
Okay. So we had a plan, we had a plan. Our plan after this, we were going to go in search of more power to help us to face this problem. I thought that we would have more time. I didn't think that we would be seeing them today of all days. I didn't think this would happen. I don't know. So that was our plan. I don't know.
Still the plan, Sylvia.
Wait. You're telling me that your plan was that you would fight this creature?
After becoming more powerful and maybe securing artifacts to help us.
Where would you find artifacts to fight a dragon?
Well, there are abandoned palaces around, and I have a ring now that grants me immunity to fire. But if we could find similar artifacts, or I don't know, something that could make Mina invulnerable and able to attack as though she had the speed and strength of a vampire, or Annelise the ability to shoot from thousands of miles away, kilometers, sorry. Metric, we're strictly metric. But we couldn't just, lie around waiting to die, Heinrich.
Why must you fight the creature?
Major Bauer, you record was exactly my question also.
Well, Mina, that if we do nothing, the politicians, the ones who decided that this war was a good idea, the ones in power, they would shut themselves away with all of their protections, and the innocent people just trying to get through the day, who had nothing to do with the war, they are the ones who would suffer and die.
Such a pity you didn't need them right here.
Look, I do not understand why you must fight this creature. France has an army. Yes, it is recovering from the war, but they still have an army. They have artillery.
Major Bao, you just saw the combined strengths of the French military. They are recovering veterans and a bunch of fresh-faced recruits.
I would still rather them than my sister.
Your sister is better than any of those battalions put together, as are her friends. If anyone has a shot of doing this, better than... I mean, you have seen France is full of powerful people. Your sister chief amongst them.
What of the elf? Could you ask her to help you?
She is it's different for the Fae. They're kin. I will tell her this has happened, but
Major, have you heard anything on the Arcadian side of things?
Nine.
This seems...
Nine.
We
have had rumors of movement of creatures, but nothing concrete.
Oh, come on. The Prussian army, the armies were trying to say that they just unlocked ancient magic. They've been trying to suppress the fact that it was a dragon for a year. I knew that if I said anything, I would be carted away to a sanitarium. You know that.
I mean, more, do we know if this is a re-engagement of the Arcadian army, or is this, it's the way this dragon spoke?
It's more personal because
dragon
killed all their children.
Seems more independent.
Well, Morraine told
rather than us personally.
Well, you remember Morraine told us
Mm.
when the first time we met her, and at this point she's gonna like turn to Heinrich and say, as a group, not an intimate dinner setting, when all of us met her. She mentioned that they had the stories of the knights killing the dragons. They was young, and obviously when the dragons found out about this, they would be enraged at the loss of their children. I understand, and I have no children of my own, but I know that if Adelind.
Yeah. I understand, Sylvia. Okay, but look, I'd hope to stay here for another day or two. I must return to Berlin. I must tell my superiors of this. Promise me that you will not do something reckless. You are under no obligation to be a hero. You have already fought in one war. You do not.
You mean standing, being terrified, and nearly dying counts as fighting?
You survived. That counts as fighting. Yeah. Promise me you will
Annelise kind
not.
of squints at that.
Yeah. You will not do anything reckless, please.
Heinrich, we are sticking with our plan. If the Prussian army wants to be involved, then fine. But we are sticking with our plan.
You can see he's so unhappy about this right now. But he does also know you, his incredibly stubborn sister.
Yeah, like he's not going to talk me out of this, and I think he knows that.
He does know that, which makes him even more frustrated. But he just say, well, I will need to try to arrange a train back to Berlin. I do not know if the trains are still running after this. I would assume it's the French, not the Prussians. So maybe the trains have. Maybe the drivers are on strike in fear.
Heinrich, if I survive the next few days, there is a spell that I plan to learn, which will allow me to travel through trees quite easily. So,
you're like, this is crazy magic shit that my baby sister can do. I don't know, but anyway, so. You spend the next couple of hours together. Heinrich does arrange to get a ticket back to Berlin. He's
will also pull him aside and I say, I tell him, only a few weeks ago I was summoned back home by my battalion, as there has been a high influx of tatzelworms. Wormer.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many as never seen before. We actually thought that something must have happened in Arcadia for them to move. Personally, I think it's probably the dragons coming in or waking up and taking territory. There were thousands of them. We were fighting them. We lost a couple of good people. One or two or even 10 is fine, but like they were so many and they just kept coming. So yes, it's the reports you get of things moving is definitely true.
He says, well, let's hope that most of the dragons decide to make Arcadia their home.
So if on revenge,
to be honest, I think yeah, they're here, they're out for revenge for their killed young. And
I mean, as I said to Morraine, none of us.
I pulled him aside, so I kind of to have a private conversation.
Yeah.
I also say, like, for the record, yes, I wasn't very happy about this plan. I personally think like we should lead them to the politicians and let them fucking be eaten.
Unfortunately, that's not the way these things work, as you know.
No, it's not, and no.
It's the common folk who always suffer.
They'll want to avenge themselves against all humankind, I guess.
Well, who knows? Just Can you just...
Again, I'm not, too happy that it has to be us fighting, but after finding out that this particular dragon was the one that killed Sylvia's wife, I can understand that she wants to go after it, and for all it's worth, I'll follow her. I'll do anything to keep her safe.
And when you say that, he does really appreciate it, because you're a trained Swiss Guard, so he recognizes an accomplished warrior. Sylvia, he spends a few hours with you. He doesn't keep trying to plead with you not to do anything, because he knows what you're like, and he does eventually he gets a ticket back to Berlin that afternoon, with you and the rest of the party basically getting to decide when you are going to leave Paris to head to the Fontainebleau forest. It'll be a 2-day travel. You'll need to stop, spend the night overnight in a town halfway there, and then you'll arrive.
You said before it was like, what, 50
It's
kilometers?
like 50, 55 kilometers. So, yeah, you could arrange, like, maybe see if there's any carriages or that going that way. You can hire you can hire a coach to bring you halfway.
We're loaded. We can totally hire a private coach.
So
I'm just so if I was 60, actually, I could, if I transformed us all into eagles, 6 5s are 30. Sorry, I'm just I could just get
I don't think Mina would like the idea. I think I'd rather hire a fucking coach for myself.
I could get us there a little bit faster.
Mina thinks like, no, hang on. You want me to
go.
fucking feathers and fly? No, thank you. No.
I mean, I throw up the
I'm not used to flying. What if I look down and throw up, or what?
Sylvia's going to say, as an animal, you instinctively know how to fly. It's fine.
I
instinctively know how to fly. I've never been a bloody bird.
Neither had I until the day I decided I wanted to try it out.
Like, for crying out loud,
Annelise did it, and it was fine.
I just look over at Justine and go, I think they're getting some emotions out.
As well as deciding on your travel arrangements before you leave for Fontainebleau, I would also like to let you all know that you have all leveled up.
Ooh.
Oh, I still haven't picked my Okay,
and that is a perfect place to pause in our story. Thank you all for joining us, and we shall see you next Tuesday, same bad time, same bad channel. I would also like to point out that this Saturday at 12 o'clock Irish time, 1 o'clock Central European, I will be running a one-shot of a adventure that I wrote for the Candela Obscura game. It's a wonderful system. Similar-ish vibes to Fayearth. It's set in a fantastical world that's roughly around 1908, 1910, pre-World War I. And whereas Fayearth is fairy tale folklore in an urban fantasy setting, Candela is paranormal horror in an urban fantasy setting. And Polina will be one of our players there. So if you're free, 12 o'clock Irish time, 1 o'clock Central European, please be sure to join us there. And otherwise, we shall see you all next Tuesday, same bad time, same bad channel. So good night, all. Bye.
Oh my God.